now, turn up.
Hello dear learners! Welcome to another good and exciting day to learn English. In our previous lesson, we talked about a certain property of a verb which is its voice. Voices of the verb are the active and passive voice. In today's lesson, we will discuss another property of a verb which is its tense. In English grammar, verb comes in three tenses: the past, present, and future. Among these three tenses, past tense is commonly considered as confusing, especially on its form. Do you enjoy talking with your friends about your past experiences? Or what about sharing an action or dramatic scene from your favorite TV shows or movies? Do you know that the action words you are using are in the past tense? Today's lesson focuses on the grammatical features of simple past and past perfect tense. This lesson highlights a clear distinction between the two and how they interact in forming a clear and coherent sentences. Let us begin with simple past tense. Simple past is a verb tense that is used to talk about things that happened or existed before. It is used to express actions that happened and ended in the past. Commonly, simple past is signaled by the time indicators in the past such as yesterday, last month, last week, a while ago, a year ago, and many more. Imagine when your friends ask you on what you did last Sunday. Perhaps you will answer them, "You went to the church last Sunday." Simple past shows that you are talking on the actions that had already happened. Therefore, we use the verb went instead of go. But how to formulate simple past tense? In simple past tense, we have regular and irregular verbs. For regular verbs, we simply add ed to the root form of the verb or d if the root form already ends in letter E. Example: love, loved; create, created; push, pushed; listen, listened; play, played. Now, can you give me your own pair of regular verbs? Awesome! For irregular verbs, things are getting more complicated because instead of simply adding ed or d to the root form, irregular verbs form its past tense by changing the spelling of the root form of the verb. For example, eat, ate; know, knew; fly, flew; write, wrote; sing, sang. Now, can you give me your own pair of irregular verbs? Very good! Another reason why irregular verbs are more complicated is because the simple past tense of some irregular verbs looks exactly like its root form, meaning to say, you're not going to add ed or d or change the spelling, but you're going to retain the spelling of its root form. For example, cut, cut; cost, cost; put, put; heat, heat; broadcast, broadcast. Now, how about past perfect tense? Past perfect tense narrates past actions and events. A sentence that uses past perfect tense provides two actions in the past wherein the first past action or condition is completed ahead before another action in the past. It is usually formed with this structure. Had plus past participle. Now, take a look on the example. Rona had finished her project before her mother asked her to work on it. In this example, both actions had finished and asked happened in the past. However, one action took place first before another one. In this context, past perfect tense portrays an earlier action before another action happened as portrayed by simple past tense. Past perfect tense is used to make it clear that one event or action happened before another action in the past. It doesn't matter which event is mentioned first, for as long as the tense makes it clear which event happened first. On the following example, event A is the event that happened first, and event B is the second or the recent event. In the first two examples, event A was mentioned first, such as number 1, I had lived in Batangas, and number 2, Donna had gone out. Both use had plus past participle, lived, and gone. Meanwhile, event B, a more recent event in the past, was mentioned last, and both used simple past of the verb. Before I moved to Cavite, and when Marie arrived at their classroom. Now, notice the difference with the following example. In sentences 3 and 4, event B, which is a more recent event that happened in the past, was mentioned first. That is why we use the simple past of the verb, such as number 3, Marcus took a shower, and number 4, Anna felt great. Meanwhile, event A, which is an earlier event, were mentioned last and use past perfect tense of the verb, such as after he had finished the game and after she had passed her exam. In addition, questions are indicated by inverting the subject and had. Negatives are made with not. Example, Marie had studied her lesson before she watched her favorite cartoon. In question, had Marie studied her lesson before she watched her favorite cartoon? For negatives, Marie had not studied her lesson before she watched her favorite cartoon. Or, Marie hadn't studied her lesson before she watched her favorite cartoon. Now, let us see what you've learned by answering these exercises. In your notebook, you're going to copy and answer the following sentences by boxing the past perfect tense, circling the simple past tense, and underlining the time expression used in each sentences. How was it? Did you answer it all correctly? Alright, good job! Remember, simple past tense expresses an action or event that happened and ended in the past. Past perfect tense portrays an event that took place first before another action happened. And that is all for today. I hope you learned a lot. Thank you for your active participation. See you again next time. Bye!
Now turn up.